Yo, what's the story? In today's video, can something like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 actually be good enough to do proper talking head videos? If you've been following me and my channel for a while, then you'll know that for the last couple of years I've been shooting everything on the Sony FX3. Or now and again I use the Sony ZV-E1. These, especially the FX3, is classed as a cinema camera, so it is a serious beast. It's got incredible image quality. Now, that's not to say that the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 doesn't have good image quality. It does. We've got a whole bunch of videos that you've seen to show that the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 actually, yeah, you know what? The video quality of this thing is insane. And for the price point, compared to something like the FX3, it's a big difference in price. First up, this is a biggie, image quality. Something like the FX3, which if you've seen the creator over the last couple of months, you know this is a serious camera. Now, something like the FX3 has got phenomenal quality, as does, as I said, the Osmo Pocket 3. But all of these things you have to figure out, how does the image look? Color accuracy, depth. All of these things are really, really, really important. And can something like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 really kind of get that level? Yes, it does offer D-Log, which is this kind of washed out kind of color profile, which allows you to get a little bit more dynamic range and more control over how you color the footage. Now, on the FX3, it's the exact same. You have S-Log 3, S-Log 2 is gone, I think now. But you do have those modes, which gives you even more flexibility when you are digging into the actual video and doing what you should or maybe shouldn't be doing. Another huge thing is audio is so important in talking head videos. And let's be honest, if people can't really hear you clearly and concisely, then they're going to turn off the video a lot quicker, to say if the image quality was a little bit dodgy, because people watch videos with their ears as well as their eyes. Really bad audio is a big no-no. Now, something like the Sony FX3, it's got a top handle if you want to use it. You've got a hot shoe mount where you can plug in Sony mics. That's what I use all the time. It's a really, really good mic. Now, you can do kind of similar with the Osmo Pocket 3. There is a USB-C port, so we can use USB-C mics, which is work, most of them from what I've seen work really good straight out the gate. Whether that's a wireless lav mic or any other type of USB-C mic, it works really well. Now, that said, the Osmo Pocket 3 has got 3 mics of its own. It's got front, back, sides, and these things work in tandem, and you can dial these in settings if you want. But audio is so important. Now, can you plug a big, fancy, expensive XLR mic into the Osmo Pocket 3? Not from what I've seen, and you know, depending on all the conversions that you can do with different cables, I would suggest that XLR to USB-C probably doesn't exist, and if it does, it's probably not very good. Now, that said, the audio that you can get from the Osmo Pocket 3 is very good. Now, all of that said, even if the onboard mic isn't great, you can do some post-processing in something like Adobe Premiere or DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut, so you can improve the audio. Now, the audio is only as good as where it has been recorded from as well, so if you're out in the middle of nowhere, wild wilderness, then it's probably not going to be great. However, in a talking head scenario like this, then you should be able to get very good audio, like I always seem to get with the Sony FX3. Your audio is only as good as your environment. Now, all of that said, your environment is so important, especially when it comes to lighting. No matter what the camera, you need to light yourself in some way, shape, or form. Yes, 3-point lighting is a big thing, but one light is better than no light at all. Here's the thing, right? Up here right now, I have what's called is my key light. So this is the thing that kind of fills me more so. Slight bit of a shadow here because it's coming at me this way. Behind me, I have a hair light or a rim light. I don't have any hair, but it does separate me from the background a little bit. We've got that little bit of rim here and around there, and that makes things look a little bit more deeper. Depth. And then I've got an accent light and colored lights here to create some more depth. And then you do have the aperture on the camera dialed down to about, I think it's 2.0 at the moment, aperture 2. So the background is relatively blurry. So those are kind of two lights that I have got set up, and then the accent lights are kind of a third light. But that really helps your actual video quality, how it looks, because regardless of the camera, whether it's the Sony FX3 or the Osmo Pocket 3 or whatever the case may be, they can all struggle in low light. Now, the Sony FX3 is an absolute beast in low light. But all of that said, you're only shooting as good as what you can set up. So even if you don't have an expensive light, and these are only Godox 60 SLWs, they're not that expensive. They're like $100 odd bucks plus. But any light is better than low light, and it would absolutely help whatever camera that you've got. With all of that, from the video, the audio, the lighting tips that I've given you, it's not just about the camera like the Sony FX3 or the ZV-E1 or whatever you have, or the Osmo Pocket 3. It's all about kind of skills and what you can do with it, and maybe in some cases making the very best of a bad scenario or situation. The Sony FX3 has been the most expensive camera that I have ever parted money with. It's a phenomenal camera. It's my favorite camera of all time. I absolutely love it. The DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I also love that, but it costs nearly, 10 times less, and its image quality, my friends, is as good as what you can see, almost as good as what you can see over there, which is actually, the Sony FX3, because I have shot 99% of this video on the Osmo Pocket 3. DJI's little baby camera has pulled all of this off. Blows my mind. Did you know all along? Let me know in the comments if you're like, I knew all the time that was the Osmo Pocket 3. You're just doing one of those clever video reveals, which is the FX3 over there. Now, why does this thing hold up? It holds up because of this tiny little sensor that they upgraded in the Osmo Pocket 3. This has all been shot at 4K 24. It's been shot in D-Log. I've graded it in Lumetri in Premiere Pro using my own LUTs. Link in the description if you want to support the channel. And yeah, this thing, for the difference in price, I do not see the absolute huge difference in price that warrants that much of a step up. Yes, Sony FX3, phenomenal camera. Really, the one huge advantage it has over the Osmo Pocket 3 is the lens. You can swap out the lens to your heart's content. But all of that aside, right? Is there thousands, your hard-earned money, is it worth thousands to upgrade to something like the Sony FX3 or any of those compared to the Osmo Pocket 3? So you, my friends, have been looking at the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 footage for 99% of the video. Even the B-roll shots that I took of the Sony FX3 with its fancy lens hood that I bought, did I buy? I did. Yeah, that was all shot in the Osmo Pocket 3. So, is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 good enough for talking head videos on YouTube? You bet your damn ass it is.